Hello, Elizabeth here with the My Hat series. As a business owner, you have many hats to wear and skills to master. Today, we're talking about peer mentoring. So grab a coffee and let's get started. So today, we welcome Bill Quinn. Bill will be heading up the Taking Care of Business Peer Mentoring Program. Welcome, Bill.
Well, hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Bill is a professional certified coach, a certified executive coach, a registered professional forester. That's a busy guy you are, Bill. So what else should we know about you?
Well, I think some of the things to know is that, I've been in business in BC in the north, mainly for over 40 years now. My career has spanned both being in small business as an entrepreneur. I've been in the consulting business, and I've also worked for government. So I've seen multiple aspects of the business world. And, in the past 12 years, what I've been doing is really focusing on helping businesses grow and also coaching people to be the best leaders that they can.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, and I've been having lots of fun over the past those 12 years.
That's great. So,
Yeah.
Bill, can you paint a picture for us about what the peer mentoring program is going to look like and what and who it's for?
Okay. So the peer mentoring program, what it is it's a program where you get to meet with your peers, and it's a facilitated conversation that's my job, is to facilitate it. And in that facilitation, what we'll be doing is we'll be meeting every 2 weeks. We will be meeting for 2 hours every 2 weeks to start with. And then partway through, then we'll relax that and reduce that down to 1 hour every 2 weeks. And really what it is you'll have your chance to connect with other small businesses like yourself. And in connecting with them, you'll start to learn what their challenges are, what their solutions have been, and you'll be able to share yours. And,
Right.
We did this as a pilot back, when was that? About 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was like 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
We
what
did.
we do is, so we try and make this to be a safe environment for people to be able to share what's going on in their world.
Mhm.
And by doing that, then you're actually learning some new opportunities. But it's not just somebody telling you, well, you should do this or you should do that. You're getting different ideas from other business owners.
Right.
And yeah.
So a lot of problem solving conversation opposed to just rah, 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 rah.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not stand and deliver type program. It's like, you'll get out of it what you put into it and what everybody else in your group puts into it. So we'll have a group of 8 to 10 business owners, and you'll get together and you will chat, and we will determine, or the group will determine, what topics they want to cover. And in the past, what we've talked about is things like how to do a strategic plan. And I actually have helped I've helped the groups develop those. What's an operational plan? How to develop that? What are some of the different funding opportunities that are out there? So we get to share all that because everybody comes with a lot of knowledge, and we just try and mine that from everybody. So.
Excellent. So I assume that there may be some concern from other businesses or people wanting to jump in that they may be sharing their ideas and strategies with a competitor. So do you find this to be a concern? And if so, how is it addressed?
Well, it can be a concern. However, what we do to try and address that is that when we start putting the groups together, once people start identifying they want to participate, and we start putting the groups together, first we try and align them based on what they want to do. Do they want to grow to be big groups, or are they solopreneurs that want to figure out how other solopreneurs are operating and take some learnings from there? How big do they want to grow? If they don't want to grow, I wouldn't put somebody who wants to stay as a solopreneur with somebody who wants to grow to be a mid-size business.
Right.
And so that's one thing we do, is we try and put people together that have the same mindset. But in terms of getting to your question of the competitiveness, is that we try and manage that both through two factors, one being distance and the other one being the well, part of it is distance, but also making sure that we don't have two companies that are in the same line of business if we can help it in
I
that
see.
group. So they would
Right.
be, we would try and separate that out. And a
Right.
good example of that though is that in the pilot that we did 2 years ago,
Mhm.
we had one group that had at least two hairdressing salons in that group, but one was in one city, the other was in another city from like 5 hours away. So their ability to attract the same customers is totally different. And they were able to share, well, we're doing this, and they're going, oh, I got to do that, you know. So that's the beauty of it, is that sometimes when
That's
you're in with
excellent.
the same people, as long as we can manage that you're not trying to reach the same clientele, then it works
Right.
out fine.
That's perfect. And this program is actually running throughout 17 different community futures regions this time. So it gives a really broad range for selecting people that are in different areas. So that's going to make that much easier for sure. Excellent.
And like I say, if let's say we had two companies that were building fences in the Kamloops area, well, we would make sure that they're not in the same
Right.
group together. Then we would
Right,
try
for
and put
sure.
them with and potentially maybe and maybe even not other fence builders in the other parts of the province, just because of the mobility of that type of industry.
Right. Yeah.
So
Excellent.
yeah.
So you touched on a little bit earlier that you'll get out of this what you put into it. So what do you what would you advise somebody who's curious about peer mentoring as far as the possibilities of what they can get out of a program like this?
So, well, I would say the first thing that you're going to get out of it is the opportunity to perhaps, if the group wants, and that's part of what you want, is to create the appropriate plans to make you successful. Things like a strategic plan, things like an operating plan. Some of the other things you're going to get is new ideas or how to use IT
Oh,
for your business. Some like, and perhaps how you might grow your business, because somebody may have taken a certain path to grow their business and it's going to work for you. So
mhm,
there's what the opportunity is you learn how other people have done it, and you can take bits and pieces of what they've learned.
right.
And then
Excellent.
also, sorry to interrupt, but also the funding, or not funding, but the technology that might help you, that's out there, or being able to, oh, there's this out there, maybe that you can adapt that.
Mm,
And then there's also your funding opportunities and funding sources. Much as I know Community Futures, there's a lot of different opportunities within there, but there's a lot of different provincial and federal funding sources that are coming in. And we shared that a lot in the last one. Oh, well, you need to make sure you apply. The deadline's
mm,
October 31st. You better get in there. So
right.
yeah.
That's not the deadline for this year for everybody who's
No,
watching.
no, no. No.
There is an intake form on the website on taking care of business, and actually it's probably right below this video that you're watching. So fill out that intake form. What's going to happen is once you fill out your eligible organization application so that you can be eligible for sponsorship. So this part of the program will be free for you. You'll be able to fill out that intake form. You'll connect with Bill. Bill will give you a call. You'll do a quick little interview just to make sure what you're looking to get out of it is you're put into that appropriate group. And Bill may have some other conversations and tips with you. And I believe, Bill, you'll talk to them about a time commitment as well.
Yeah. So just be aware, usually the way we're running it this time, last year, the last time we did this, we had a really compressed time frame. This year it's not quite as compressed. What the expectation will be, as I said, is that every 2 weeks we'll have a 2-hour meeting for the first 1 or 2 months. And then it will net that down a little bit, down to 1 hour every 2 weeks. Plus, what we're also proposing, excuse me, is that within the groups, you create an accountability partner for so somebody like,
Oh, that's a good idea.
after a good, after a couple of sessions, maybe there might be somebody in the group that you sort of, oh, I think there's some, this sounds, we can have a good conversation here. And your accountability partner, you can meet with them in between just to bounce ideas off of, or say, geez, I have this. And on top of that, anytime you have questions, you can always send me an email and we can set up some time to chat, or just send an email about, "Oh, I'm thinking about this." And then the other piece of the time commitment, obviously, is that if the group decides to do something like develop their strategic plan, we will work on that within the 2-hour session. However, you might have some homework that you might want to work on, or some thinking that you might need to do. So
Oh, that makes sense for sure. And I got to say, accountability partners work. I have one and I am so glad that I do. I connected with an accountability partner about 3 years ago and I have stayed on track with all the things I've wanted to do. So, and she's wonderful and she calls me out and and it is so valuable. It is so valuable. I really recommend that. I think that's a brilliant idea.
Right, great.
Excellent. Well, Bill, thank you so much. If you have any questions or want to know more about this program, you can connect with your program ambassador, or you can connect with Bill himself. His information is here on the website. Otherwise, make sure you fill out that eligible organization application. Say that 10 times fast. And then fill out your peer mentoring intake form to get the ball rolling. Bill, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Sorry, thanks, Elizabeth. It's been really good working, seeing you again, and looking forward to getting this program up and running.
Fantastic. Have a good
Okay,
one, everybody.
bye for now.